Hey flyers and everybody, welcome to interesting approach episode part 1, where we're gonna fly this beautiful IXCG 737 Classic into an airport called Tivat. I think it's called Tivat. Lima Yankee Tango Victor. So it has two approaches basically. It has one runway 14 and 32. 32 has the offset localizer approach, but we're going to take runway 14, where it is an NDB circling approach. It is very, very difficult. Tivat is known to a lot of pilots as the Kitech of Europe. So it is very interesting and very complicated. And we will take a look at the approach charts. Alright, here are the charts for Tivat, Montenegro. So we will be inbound on the port 2 Bravo arrival from the port VOR, and we're going to fly down this path. We're going to go to Olivu, and hopefully at Olivu we're going to be at 5,000 or below. Gosud will be 4,000 and below, and from Gosud to Tez we will hopefully be at 2,600 feet. And by the time we reach Tez, planning to be at final approach speed, gear down, flaps down, everything has to be done between these 2 points so that we can be focused for the visual approach into runway 14 over here. So let's go on to the NDB 14 approach, non-directional beacon 14 approach. Let's see from Gosud to Tivat NDB, which is DME 7.3 from the localizer for runway 32. From then, we will turn to a heading of 303 degrees, and once we hit DME 3.9 from the Tivat localizer, we're going to make a turn. I'm going to make a looping, sweeping turn back into runway 14. As you can see from the vertical path, we will be at 2,600 feet. Test, that's the final approach fix, 7.3 away from the localizer, and we will descend to the minimum descent altitude. We will see the minimum descent altitude later, and from 3.9 we are completely visual to the runway. Right, let's go to the circling 1432 approach. So from here, as we can see, we hit 303, 3.9 DME. We will turn to a heading of 337 all the way till DME 4 from the TIV localizer, and then we'll make a banking turn into runway 14. This is day only, obviously, because it's full of mountains and you can't see that stuff at night. So for the for the minimum descent altitude, which is 1,660 feet, we hopefully don't hit this mountain. Therefore, we only can descend to that altitude once we clear the small hill here. We will hopefully be at 1,660 feet over here, and we'll carry on with the approach. The missed approach procedure would be to fly over the runway, back to the Tez NDB, and from there carry on. So that's the charts. Looks quite simple, but when you fly it, it's going to be incredibly difficult. This portion here is going to be extremely strenuous. To setting up the airplane, as you can see, top of descent is still quite a fair bit away, but we need to set up the plane and set up the DME rings for the localizer. So first we're gonna set up the localizer. The frequency is 111.30. Come on. We're gonna set the other side as well. The ADF beacon, the NDB beacon is 370 set. The course towards the first, the ILS course, the localizer course will be 335. I'm gonna set on the other side as well, just for redundancy's sake. And as you can see, after the final turn at DME 3.9, we have to turn to a heading of 337, and from then on we make the last looping turn back towards runway 14. We're gonna set it as 337. Alright, beautiful. Now go to the legs page, and we can see that we have set up speed restrictions here, 210 at Olivu, flight level 68, and it goes to 200, 4000 and above. So you can see at TAS itself, the NDB itself, we would be at 182 and be at or above 2600 feet. That looks correct. And at MQ303, which is the DME 3.9 point at which we will start manually flying and hand flying the aircraft into the approach, we would be at 1660 feet, which is the decision height, minimum descent altitude, sorry, for the approach. Alright, so we can go into the fixed page. We're gonna put the VR, sorry, we're gonna put the airport code, which is LYTV. I'm sorry, we should put in the localizer instead. Localizer BTIV TIV. Why isn't that being located? I wonder. Okay, never mind. In that case, we're just gonna put it in the airport. I know why, because TIV is actually the localizer, not the VOR itself, so we can't put it into the fixed page. Just gonna put it in the airport itself. And we're gonna put a radius 7.9, that's the initial approach fix, and that's where the NDB is. We'll put another one at 3.9. That's the final waypoint we'll be flying before we hand fly it. Just another one at 4. Yeah, it's pretty close. Actually, we don't need 4. Alright. So we have the fixed page set up, and you can see the rings here. Alright, we're gonna put it to plan mode, and we're gonna reduce the range. You can see. We'll step through the legs. Top of descent, Olivu, go suit. That's TAS. TAS is a 7.9. I'm gonna fly the TAS outbound would be 303. Heading on 303, and then you can see from MQ303 we'll start our final turn. Obviously, this is a little bit weird. It's not the path you're gonna fly. From the approach charts, we're just gonna fly straight. We'll hit a point, and then we'll start a slow banking turn. We'll go straight and a slow banking turn in, like that, something like that. So it's gonna be quite difficult in that. Interesting. Hopefully we can make it, because I've tried it once and I nearly died. Alright, we'll see you guys very soon when we are descending towards our first few approach waypoints. As you can see, wow, the terrain there. Okay, so we are very close to top of descent, as you can see. It's time to reset our MCP altitude. I'm pretty sure the message will come out very soon. There we go. Alright, we're gonna reset it to our first initial altitude of 5,000 feet. And I realize that this is maybe 335. Alright, beautiful. And we can go through the descent checklist, which cabin signs are all. Cabin control is on flight mode, so that looks good. And we need to set our FMC approach speed So we'll do that in a second. Before that, we can set the auto brakes to 3. Alright, so we're done with that. We're gonna go to the approach page, and we're gonna take the flaps 40 122 speed, final approach speed. That would be nice. It is just a 2,500 meter runway. It's pretty long. But we need to be as slow as possible to make that last final turn in as easy as possible. Make it as easy as possible. There we go. We have started our descent. And let's see how it goes. You can see that we will go over this portion, over that, and then somewhere over behind this tall mountain range is Tivat. The wind now is some nice healthy crosswind heading 295. And hopefully when we land into a headwind. Alright, anything else I need to ensure? Nope, everything looks fine. Right, talk to you soon. Talk to you as we get closer to the approach. Okay, so before we make the approach and before we go down to transition altitude, which is flight level 100, can check the weather. TV request, and we can see QNH is 1012, winds 17. Sorry, what am I saying? Winds are variable at 1 knot. That's beautiful. There it means there's very little wind. Winds are calm. Cavok visibility is pretty good. Temperature 31, 0.20. Everything looks fine. Good stuff, good stuff. Oops, I can't believe I read that as the wind. But oh well. So when we pass 10,000 feet, we just need to push the barometric pressure to 1012. Alright, so as we can see, we are descending quite well. And we're just gonna turn in a little bit over here, over this mountain. And Tivat is somewhere behind these. Apologies, Tivat is somewhere behind these mountains. As you can see, that will be our turn. And that's our missed approach path. If we are going around, we have to overfly the airport, fly back to the TAS and DB, and from then on we carry on. It doesn't reflect well here, but that's according to the charts. Just gonna reduce the range. We are reaching our initial arrival fix, which is port. Let's double check everything is well. We have tuned our radios, set our course and our heading, and we can do the below 10,000 feet checklist for now because we're gonna pass it very soon. And the important thing is to keep yourself as free as possible for the final approach, because there's a lot of work to be done in trying to correct the aircraft speed and correct the altitude of the aircraft and making the final turn all stick. And you want to complete your final approach checklist. You want to bring all your flaps and your gears down before you take final control, and that's why we're doing everything as quickly as possible and get them done with. So we're just going to turn on the logo, wing, and bring on some of the landing lights. We're gonna wait for this to cross 10,000. I'm gonna switch it to 1012, making a turn towards Olive right now, which will need to be at flight level 68 and speed to 210. Before the final turn towards, before we turn towards towards the hitting of 303, after the test NDB, we will put our gears down and we'll select flap 40 and push speed all the way to final approach speed. As I said, this is to clear your workload and make sure that you just fly the aircraft. Now here's a little bit of a problem. The plane loves to do this. Just gonna bring him back to the heading. Alright, beautiful. I don't know why that happened to me on the previous attempt in here as well. So it's a little bit weird. Oops. I'm just gonna bring it to 337. Okay, good stuff. Okay, look at that. It doesn't want to follow the path. I'm just gonna put a direct to. It lags a little bit. I have to pause. I have no idea why. Screw that. Okay, beautiful. Now we can start. Okay, there we go. Below 10,000. QNH 1012, 1012, and 1012. Beautiful. Right, now aircraft will start decelerating to 10 knots. We're gonna bring out speed brakes just to help. And gonna bring out notch of flaps. Or actually we're gonna put flaps 5 once we reach 210 knots. Right, that's where Tibet is. That's All Valley here. Things are gonna get real very soon. Trust me. As you can see, we are very high. We need to hit 5,000 Olive. And looks like we're not gonna hit it. Alright, we can bring flaps 5. Hopefully the speed brakes can bring us on. I very much doubt it. So what we're gonna do is just make a turn, head away from Olive for a while, and we'll bring back the aircraft back to its path when we are ascending. Now we're gonna bypass Olive. We're gonna just go direct to Gosu. So we're just gonna put 4,000 feet. Oops. A bit finicky. There we go. Right, bringing the speed brakes back in. I don't want to depend too much on the speed brakes. It will not be very useful for the aircraft whatsoever. It's beautiful, this Adriatic coast regions, and so far all the scenery I've used is all freeway scenery. Explain that, except for this aircraft, obviously. Alright, looking good. I think we can go direct to Gossett right now. Then again, I need to pause the stupid sim because this happens. Brilliant. Clear. We're gonna go LNAV again. We're gonna set this back to 337. A bit annoying. Let's bring the speed back to 200. Looks good. Looks good. Now honestly I have no idea if I will nail this landing or not. Because the previous attempt I came in way too high, way too fast. Learned my lesson. Get everything done beforehand. Alright, as you can see, after this we will follow to waypoint MQ303. And after that it's all totally manual and visual. Need to keep a good lookout for this DME counter. Let's set to the ADF. Alright, here we go. Now we're just gonna bring the range back in. Alright, we are reaching 4,000. Now we can bring it back to the next altitude of 2,600 feet. See the wind wobbling around a little bit. This area, because part of being very mountainous, it's a little bit turbulent and you get a lot of crosswinds and stuff, which makes the landing even more harder than it usually is. Alright, we should be making our turn very soon. Once we make this turn, we're gonna slow our aircraft down all the way to approach speed. Final approach speed. I can see the localizer is being picked up. This heading though is 334 if I'm not wrong. It's not 335. As per the charts, I'm just gonna maintain this path set out by the FMC. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. You can see the airport is just right off the mountain there, the hill, I would say. So what we're gonna do is gonna fly straight, go over this ridge here, fly down through this two gap, over to that mountain, make the U-turn, 180 turn, and return back to the runway. Now, I love this part. I love when it picks up all this. It makes for such a colorful display. Yeah, stupid. Alright, we're now going to reduce our speed all the way down to 125 knots. I'm going to start bringing the flaps down. You can bring the gear down. We can start turning on the landing lights. It's beautiful. Continuous. Auto brakes 3. Speed brake is armed. Beautiful. So after passing tests, we will make the turn, and when we reach that waypoint, we hopefully will be at around 1600 feet. 1660 feet is the minimum descent altitude. So there we go. Yeah, auto throttle is kicking in, trying to keep the aircraft in the air. This is the 7.9 DME ring from the airport. This is the DME 3.9 ring from the airport. As you can see, we're gonna fly over this ridge, through the gap there, make a nice U-turn, a 180 turn, and land it back. This is an actual real-world flight, by the way. So I would love to be on this flight, and it's used mostly by an ATR 72, but on one occasion they used 737 Classic. Okay, beautiful. We're gonna make the turn real soon. We're gonna start descending after we clear the ridge here. We can see the runway well and true now. The localizer would lead us right over there before we make it turn it. If we want to make an approach 3-2. Nope, we're making a nice and more difficult one for approach. There we go. Gear is down. Speed brakes armed. Yeah, auto brakes set at 3. The landing lights are all on. Required lights are all on. Everything looks good. Yeah, are ready to land. So once we cross this point, we follow this bug instead of this magenta line. But before that, we need to descend to 1600 feet. Let's set it first. 16. Come on, you can do it. Oh, come on. Okay, never mind. 1700 will do. Maybe not. Let's go. Alright, beautiful. We can start the descent now. What is the speed? We're gonna put around 700. Make sure we don't hit that mountain here. Come on, Ring, you can do it. Good stuff. Perfect, that's absolutely perfect. Bang on. Honestly, that was just a wild guess, 650, and that worked out pretty good. Alright, very soon we're gonna take manual control. As we can see the runway, we are gonna descend beyond the minimum descent altitude. I'm going to be very quiet right now because this requires a lot of concentration. Yep, a lot of concentration. See the DME 4.1. Very soon. Very soon. .9. Alright, we're gonna disconnect the autopilot and we're gonna turn towards 337. It's quite windy out here. I'm just gonna make a slow and gradual descent. Look for the DME counter. I'm looking for 4.0. It should rise. Don't worry about it. It should rise. It's on the rise again. As you can see, we're just heading straight to a mountain. This approach cannot be done during the night It has to be done
1,000.
in the day when we have daylight. Alright, 3.2. 3.4. 3.6. 3.7. 3.8. 3.9. We're gonna make the turn real soon. 4. Alright, here we go. Final turn. Oh, we're descending our sync rate. Gotta watch our sync rate. Watch it, watch it. It should appear anytime
1,000.
soon. There we go, it's off to the nose here. Okay, we're a little bit high. Can take out the yaw throttle right now. As you can see, the runway is right there. Alright. So quite well aligned with it. More power. Not really a perfect alignment, but oh well. Here we have it.
500.
Oh god, here we go.
400. 300.
'Here we go.
200.
Landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Ooh, floating, floating, floating. We can do it. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, reverse. Here we go. Alright, we're descending well. 80 knots. 60 knots. Reverses back to idle. Manual braking. And welcome to the vet. Wow, that went better than expected, to be honest. Wow. Okay guys, here's the shocking fact. By far, that is the softest landing ever made in the IXEG. Yep. Alright, we can turn off the flight directors. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Wow. Alright. Hope you guys learned something about Teyvat. This video is actually inspired by Flight Sim 008 or Delta Mike Kilo. He goes by on Flight Sim Reddit. And he got me interested in looking up Teyvat, and well, here we go. Great stuff. Really, really great stuff. So guys, if you enjoyed this kind of content, make sure you like, you subscribe. I'll make more of these kinds of videos, hopefully, and not crash and burn. I'm trying to land this aircraft. Wonderful aircraft. Wonderful aircraft. Alright. Goodbye and see you again.